Tonight, we see how students celebrate the 52nd birthday of the Union, UCM's improv group, in an attempt to break the Guinness World Record.
All this and more next on UMag.
Hello and welcome to UMag, a show by the students of the University of Central Missouri in Warrensburg. I'm Katie Bailey.
And I'm Hernandez Johnson. Thanks for joining us.
UCM has been the place to be the past week as many impactful events have occurred. Let's go to our campus feed segment to see what happened.
Amanda Avent is the Corporate Events Director for the American Heart Association. She's in charge of coordinating heart walks and collecting donations for the organization. This is a time-consuming job that takes her across 5 different states. The organization has decided not to pay for a home office so that more of the donation money that they receive can go to research. Having no office to work from, she is constantly on the go.
What's great about the American Heart Association is we're really a grassroots organization, so we really rely on our volunteers, our participants, our team captains, and our sponsors like UMB Bank or Central or Western Missouri Medical Center, who are chairs from this year, to really help us get the word out. So although I'm the only staff member, I'm definitely not the only person putting in work.
Much help is needed for putting these fundraising events together. One of this year's sponsors is the Alpha Phi sorority.
We have decided to partner and sponsor the American Heart Association's Johnson County Heart Walk, and we have been working all summer to raise money for that. I worked with Amanda a lot. Each of us have our own Heart Walk page to raise donations. As an individual, each of us tried to raise $200 to hit our total goal of $15,000. Over that, actually, if we all raised $200. And I worked with Amanda to set up those pages. We created teams through our sorority. There's teams of about 10 girls each. And Amanda sent us links for that. She told us exactly what we needed to do.
Now that we've looked at the preparations for this event, let's go to Pratyush, who has more insight on the events of the Heart Walk.
Over 500 Johnson County residents came to participate in this Heart Walk this morning.
Today went really well. We had a ton of people that really just utilized all of the sponsor booths. We had Alpha Phi sorority at our women's health tent. Western Missouri Medical Center did our health screenings. You also could ride the smoothie bike, so they put fruit in a smoothie and you pedaled and it blended the smoothie. We had Warrensburg Collision here. They were our See You Next Year sponsor, so people could sign up to come back next year. We had some dancing and quite a few top walkers.
People that attended the event spoke on the ways they keep their heart healthy.
I run every day. I try to eat healthy. I think the more that you incorporate it into your life, the more it starts to impact others around you.
I would say I have like a good diet and I exercise a couple days a week.
The university is proud to be a sponsor of the event, and we're very thankful for everyone who turned out today to help support the Heart Walk, and we hope to make this an annual event on campus.
The American Heart Association has raised over $45,000, not reaching their goal of $50,000. However, they feel that the walk was very successful. Reporting for UMag, this is Pratish Katta signing off.
Right now I'm in the Elliott Union, located at the heart of campus. To my left, in one of the rooms in the building, a unique gathering is taking place between state representatives, military veterans, and members of the university alike, all hoping to close the gap between the government and its citizens, but more importantly, those who have sacrificed much in service to this country.
So our first keynote speaker talking about...
In order to determine how various organizations within Missouri have been serving military veterans, the Interim Committee on Missouri Military Impact and Sustainability gathered at the University of Central Missouri, inviting service members with the opportunity to come forward to share their testimonies.
Overseas in Bahrain.
The veterans that are enrolled here at UCM had some stories that really bring home the message that we want to send.
The stories, of course, were representative of the university's ability in assisting the veterans with whatever specific needs they may have had. As powerful as they were, the reason for why the gathering was called upon in the first place is still an unfortunate reality.
With budget cuts always looming in Washington, D.C., we just must constantly keep our good story in front of Congress and the Pentagon.
I believe important that our community, the people, have a voice in exactly what happens with their government, because it doesn't just affect the number of military personnel that there are, it affects our communities, it affects our schools, it affects our businesses. So we wanted to bring the stories of how it affects the community.
Really, the military mission is part of our social fabric. I think everything that we had as testimony today just really illustrated that point.
With that focus in mind, the meeting proved to be successful as a result of the variety of individuals that testified to the good qualities they have observed during their time here at UCM. With the stories as proof, it's no wonder why UCM is celebrated for its military services to veterans.
I think that UCM has been a pioneer in the way that we need to treat and take care of our veterans. And it's not just the school, it's amazing the amount of community support there is.
Other higher education institutions are using us as the model.
Even so, there is still room for improvement.
One of the large gaps is counseling for family members and children. So it's very important that we identify ways in which we can provide those services.
Although the Military Services Office has accomplished much, they're certainly not through looking for new ways in which to reach out to veterans that will ultimately result in changing lives. For UMag, this is Shawnee signing off.
I'm Hernandez Johnson here in the Elliott Student Union, where every day students come to enjoy all the wonderful amenities the union has to offer. Back on September 25th, however, students came here to celebrate in a big way. For 52 years, the union has been the living room of the campus, and every year students show their appreciation by throwing a birthday party.
Today's the union's 52nd birthday, so we're just giving out free shirts for students, inviting them to come out and have some fun, release some stress in between class.
We had free pizza, we got to do the money box, there was a free t-shirt giveaway, they had games in the atrium of the union, so a lot of fun stuff.
But you don't have to wait for a birthday celebration. Students feel the union is a great place to hang out every day.
I live in the union. I love to hang out on comfy couches, come to the movies. I'm graduating in December, so I'm really going to miss this place.
This is probably one of our bigger events that's sponsored by the Elliott Student Union. But in addition to our events, there's also events put on through student activities.
Activities that bring the campus together, like free movies at the Union Cinema every weekend. When you walk through the main hallways, check this out. Billboards line the walls for you to figure out what's going on around campus. If you find yourself hungry, food is never far away. Dining dollars, you can enjoy a filling meal while catching up with some friends. And you can't forget about that bowling alley.
Student Union is the hub of everything that happens on campus when it comes to activities-wise.
It's a great place to come sit down, maybe have a cup of coffee.
And that's what makes the Elliott Union worth celebrating. You can find anything. Get that cash! A money machine, free t-shirts, a place to study, and the most comfortable couches in Warrensburg.
If I could take one of those couches and take it to my future home, I definitely would.
Having so much in one place makes the Elliott Union a critical part of the UCM college experience.
The importance of the union here on campus is to make sure that students get the most out of their college experience. Of course, their academics and their classes are going to be top priority, but we also want to make sure they're developing as the individual student that they are.
Not only is it a great stress relief environment, it offers food for them to come eat if they can't commute.
It not only gives them a place to hang out and sit, you get to conversate with a lot of people and get to be closer friends.
So even though it was clear the union celebration was the place to be, it's clear the union does everything it can to make sure it's the place to be every day. Reporting for UMag, Hernandez Johnson.
One of our biggest crimes on campus is opportunity crimes. Burglaries and thefts are probably the biggest things we deal with on campus. We have a lot of students who will leave their dorm rooms open and unattended. They'll walk down the hall to go visit a friend. It literally only takes seconds for somebody to come into a room and just leave with valuables. So please always lock your doors.
The union continues to be the main focus point of fun and celebration on campus.
Now, let's go to our Greek life segment as we see a certain fraternity attempt to break a world record.
The Watermelon Bust is a week-long event hosted by fraternity Lambda Chi Alpha. Today, Lambda is putting on a pageant in hopes to find their next bust queen for the year. Let's take a look. Every sorority on campus is invited to participate in the Watermelon Bust activities. The pageant is a fun and energetic way to get the sororities involved with Lambda Chi's philanthropy and one another.
This is actually one of our most favorite events because it's a great way for us to really get to know the essence of the sororities, and it's nice to see how much they care about our philanthropy because they come together and they put a lot of work into these things. They spent hours rehearsing, it spent hours creating, they have their own crews for every event, so it's really nice to get to know them and to see how much they are willing to help us.
In the last 2 years, Lambda Chi Alpha has been raising canned goods to support their philanthropy, Feeding America.
Last year we had around 5,000 pounds of food. This year I'm shooting for the same. All of the girls supply all of the cans. We do have monetary donations that come in that we put towards the food as well to help boost our totals. So that's our big philanthropy. We also donate cans throughout the year.
Major in special education, that's what I was supposed to become.
Each sorority dressed up in a costume that represented their own version of a watermelon.
I actually took a poster board and cut out a watermelon and placed it over my head. I also had a dress and it had different kind of seeds on it, so I was legit a watermelon.
The Lambda Chi boys planned for this event to be different than any other pageant before. The fraternity wanted it to be lighthearted and fun so that all the girls could feel relaxed and have an all-around good time. Above all, the girls really looked like they had a blast performing at the pageant this year. Sorority Alpha Phi took home the crown for the Watermelon Bust pageant tonight. Reporting from KMOS TV, I'm Katie Bailey.
I'm Amanda Wells. The Sigma Kappas here at UCM are attempting to break the world record for biggest game of knockout in the multipurpose building. I interviewed Tiara Felder, Vice President of Philanthropic Services for Sigma Kappa, to tell us more about this event.
Sigma Kappa, one of our philanthropies is Alzheimer's. So we decided to incorporate it with our school and try to make it like a fun activity so that way everyone can know about Alzheimer's, bring out their awareness, as well as, making it an exciting event for UCM students.
Alzheimer's disease is the most common form of dementia. There is no cure for the disease and gradually gets worse as it progresses. There is no known cause for Alzheimer's. It is associated with plaques and tangles in the brain. Current treatments only help with the symptoms of the disease.
Sigma Kappa at UCM is actually going to the Walk to End Alzheimer's October the 5th, and we're going to be donating all the money from the knockout game that we received to Alzheimer's research.
The Walk to End Alzheimer's is the world's largest event to raise awareness and funds for Alzheimer's care, support, and research. The Walk to End Alzheimer's took place in Columbia, Missouri, and have already raised $76,000. While waiting in line, Sigma Kappa also provided small carnival games such as ring toss, arm wrestling, and a cup stacking game during the knockout event. Tickets for the knockout event ranged from $3 to $4, and all proceeds went towards Alzheimer's research. Students around campus came to support Sigma Kappa's philanthropy and to play some good old-fashioned knockout.
I think this event brought together Greek life because everybody was here. I think personally I did see every chapter represented, and I think it's just a good way that you can break away from your chapter and get to socialize and commingle with other chapters.
This event, which was open to any student attending UCM, brought in roughly 204 participants, with the world record being 581 participants.
We came a lot short actually, but we still had a good turnout.
There's always something fun happening on UCM's campus. Reporting for KMOS, I'm Amanda Wells.
The Greek community continues to be philanthropic in efforts to support their respective causes.
The Central Missouri Police Academy will host an open house Friday, October 17th from 11 to 3, located at 200 Mink Street. Anyone and everyone is allowed to attend. Open house guests may view displays and test their investigative skills at a mock crime scene. For more information about the Central Missouri Police Academy, visit MissouriSafetyCenter.com.
Faculty members in UCM's College of Education have a chance to share their knowledge about teaching Common Core state standards on a national level in partnership with the Association of Career and Technical Education, or ACTE. This initiative is made possible by grant funding from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Grant funding from the Gates Foundation will help ACTE build a national online teacher practice network titled Core Community. The Core Community's emphasis will be about supporting the performance of CCSS strategies that are aligned with the unique roles and abilities of CTE professionals. For more information about the project, check out their website at www.actonline.org/core-community as it becomes available.
Student research, faculty presentations highlight MoBio, surrounded by a small assembly of Missouri legislators. Michael Goddard, chair of the University of Central Missouri Department of Nutrition, discussed the value of getting students involved in real-life experiences they are going to encounter in the workplace. The Missouri legislators stopped by UCM to participate in the 2014 Missouri Biotechnology MoBio Legislative Benchmarking Tour. The tour began Sunday, September 21st in St. Louis and was concluded Friday, September 26th with the final stop in St. Joseph.
4 UCM students shared their experiences in India as supporters in UCM's Global Vision Service Learning program this past summer. The panel, which took place on October 7th, discussed their trip to India, where they experienced the local culture while completing a community service project. UCM students have completed the service learning experience in Ecuador, Costa Rica, Poland, and India during the past 4 years.
Now we'll go to Miss Vivian Richardson with our Did You Know segment to find out another fact about UCM.
Were you aware that the Dockery Hall was originally built as a gymnasium? It was finished in 1904, and the first basketball game was played there in 1905. It had 3 floors, and the top floor was where the gymnasium was located. 20 feet up from the gymnasium floor was a running track, as well as where they would stand or sit to watch the games that were being played there. The Dockery Gymnasium would be used until 1939, when the Morrow Gymnasium was built.
Thanks, Vivian. Next, let's see what those theater kids are up to in our performing arts segment.
Hello, I'm Shane Suter, just outside the Black Box Theater here at UCM. The Black Box is an experimental space located in Nickerson Hall where the Department of Theater and Dance lets their students put on their own productions and try out new things. During Family Weekend on September 27th and 28th, UCM's only improv group, Shenanigans, hosted an evening of comedy.
When I got a cold, I like a nice beef stew.
There is a boa constrictor in the kitten cages.
It's very comedy oriented, and I've worked mostly with comedy, and it's just what I'm more comfortable with.
First, they started off with a one-act skit called The Motor Show, directed by student Dalton Pierce.
No, thank you, miss. I just come to the motor show to buy some car.
Then featured stand-up comedian Colin Bell.
I'm more like the turquoise sheep of my family. Because I'm just I'm weird, and I do weird things. I do things that you wouldn't expect.
They also featured a one-act skit written by UCM student Lauren Gardner and directed by student Taylor Hudson, A Lesson in Packaging. And ended the night with audience participation as Shenanigans took the stage.
We're going to be pulling scenes together, and then we're going to have about 15 seconds to decide who's going to be who, and then we're just going to go from there and do a whole scene.
To work with people making up comedy on the spot and making people laugh and audiences laugh, it's wonderful.
UCM's theater department is my home. I absolutely love this school and this department. It has been There's so many options in this department because they make us very well-rounded theater artists.
This week, October 8th through the 12th in the Highlander Theater, the Department of Theater and Dance and the Department of Music is performing a musical directed by Professor John Wilson, The Wedding Singer.
We are going to party like it's 1985. That's what The Wedding Singer is all about. That's where it's set. The musical is a replica, basically, of the very famous movie, The Wedding Singer, that had Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore.
Don't be afraid of a little harmony here. Awesome.
It's just this on-again, off-again, missed moments of romance that ultimately culminate in them getting married at the end. And so it's a love story. It's all about romance. It's got great big hair and really wonderful colors that you see in the 1980s and all those clothing styles.
Shane Suter reporting for UMag, so peace, be cool, and rock on.
For our last story tonight, we see a glimpse of Bergfest in downtown Warrensburg for this week's Local Buzz.
Hi, I'm student producer Paul Joyner. This week on Local Buzz, we visit Bergfest in downtown Warrensburg, Missouri. 3 days of food, fun, and festivities. Let's take a look. The 2014 Bergfest was put on by a collaboration between Warrensburg Main Street and Big Brothers Big Sisters, as well as numerous other community organizations. With the planning of the festival starting in January, the purpose of the event is to bring the community together. Bergfest provided art, music, vendor booths, and an inflatable playground for the kids.
Bergfest is a 3-day festival for Warrensburg and the surrounding area. We started this festival last year for the purpose of bringing the community together and for arts, entertainment, vendor booths. We just have a lot of different things to offer, and we really thought that was one thing our community needed was a small fall festival, and it's grown into a very large fall festival.
Coinciding with the campus's family weekend, the festival kicked off on the last weekend of September with a pep rally for the UCM football team. The rally featured performances by the UCM drumline and the cheerleading squad, and was capped off with an autograph session by the Mules football team.
Some communities you feel a sense of community, and some you don't. And a festival like this brings your friends, your neighbors, new acquaintances. It's bringing families out, and it really does strengthen the community spirit of a community when you do a fall festival or any type of festival. It just brings a lot of people out.
Warrensburg locals provided various entertainment for the crowds.
I've come to the Bergfest today just to see what all is here. A lot of these places I didn't even know were in Warrensburg.
Vendors from the community set up shop to show what the town offers.
Well, it's family weekend at UCM, so we're just out looking around, sightseeing, so we decided to come down here to Bergfest.
Saturday featured a barbecue competition on Pine Street, bringing in competitors from all over the state. The competition included 4 categories of meat: chicken, ribs, pulled pork, and brisket. The final products were critiqued randomly by 24 judges in areas such as flavor and texture. The competition gave out $8,000 in prize money with the top 10 in each meat category, with the best in show going to Pellet Envy out of Kansas City, Missouri. For University Magazine, I'm Paul Joyner. Tune in next time for what's happening in your community.
Bergfest is one of the many ways to help bring Warrensburg and the surrounding communities together.
Finally, here are a few upcoming events that will be going on around UCM. UCM has a lot of fun and interesting events coming up in October.
We really do, though.
Monday the 13th starts our first blood drive. That's in Union 236, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m.
And guys, that's such a good cause, and we definitely want to make sure we get a lot of people out there for that blood drive.
Homecoming royalty voting happens on Tuesday the 14th, also in the Union, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
And remember, that's the only time window you get there. 10-hour time window, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the Union.
Etiquette dinner is October 16th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in Union Room 240.
And Katie, I gotta tell you, I've seen the way you eat, so you might want to make sure you're there for that.
You know, that could be really educational. It could teach us a lot about manners, so everybody really on campus should show up to that etiquette dinner.
And for those of you registering for the Big Pink Volleyball Tournament, that registration is due on October 21st by 5 p.m. in Panhellenic.
You know, the Big Pink Volleyball, that's a really great way to raise breast cancer awareness on campus, so great event. Everyone should go.
Absolutely. On that same day, we've got airbrush tattoos. That's happening in the Union Atrium from noon to 4 p.m.
If you don't like real tattoos, get an airbrush tattoo.
Exactly. And this next event, this is my personal favorite, Murder in the Library. That's happening October 24th at 7 p.m., of course, in the library. That's all the time we have for tonight's episode. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and on Twitter for a more in-depth look on our web exclusives and student producers. I'm Hernandez Johnson.
And I'm Katie Bailey. Tune in next time as we have another exciting episode of UMag. From all of us at KMOS TV, good night.